Well, TF Nation has come and gone once again. That weekend just goes far too quick. What's up, YouTube? I'm Alpha Prime and welcome back to the channel. And today's episode, we're going to go through my thoughts and my haul for TF Nation 2025. Man, what a weekend. It just goes past so fast. You see people, you're in the trader hall, you go to panels and stuff, and before you know it, you're on the flight home. Talking of which we'll get to. So I guess it's took me this long to sort of get around to this video is just the sheer probably how good the weekend was, topped off by how tired I was then once I got back to the house. Obviously all the stuff you have to do at home, but man, was I absolutely tired by the end of it. I don't think it really hit me. I was busy on the Monday because it was my wedding anniversary, so we went and we had a wee night away, me and my wife. So it never really hit me till about sort of Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and then it just the rest of the week back to work on Wednesday, and it just the week got away from me. So it's not that I didn't want to do it, it's just didn't have the energy. So that's why my video is pretty late. I have been watching as I've been lying on the sofa, sort of burnt out nearly, watching everyone else's video. Still got a few more to catch up on, which is good because it keeps that feeling of TF Nation alive for a little bit longer. Watching everybody's video and stuff, that's all part of it. It does keep it going for a wee bit longer. So the actual weekend itself, me and my youngest daughter, we traveled over. We were up at 3 a.m. on Saturday. It's been a while since I've done the Saturday morning travel. Definitely think it's better going over on at least the Friday. If you travel over in the afternoon, it just means you're not getting up at silly o'clock, and you get a full night's rest before you hit the real sort of stuff on the Saturday. So up at 3 o'clock, realized a few days before that I'd only booked the car park for 5 o'clock. So I was like, right, we need to be in the car park at 5 o'clock. So we got up at 3, we traveled up, and we stopped at McDonald's to get breakfast. And this just shows exactly why, or that it proves that I have never been up at that time for a long time. We pulled up at the McDonald's drive-through, and I was looking to order the breakfast, which doesn't start till 5 o'clock. So this was 4:15-ish. So there is me and my daughter eating a McDonald's. She got a chicken nugget Happy Meal and me with a cheeseburger meal at 25 past 4 in the morning, which is only about 10-15 minutes away from the airport at this stage. So once we finished that, then we made our way to the car park, parked up the car, went through security. At least we know now at this stage we don't really need to eat nothing, so we're not in this big of panic through security. And we got through, no problem, got our snacks for sort of the plane, and we got on the plane. No issues, no problems whatsoever. Made it across the TF Nation, got the wee monorail from the airport to the NEC, no issues, got into the hotel. Everything was brilliant. My daughter loved the monorail thing. She thought it was brilliant to be able to do this, and she couldn't believe that it's free, which is also a good thing for me because it does save a wee bit with the travel stuff. So we got in the hotel then, and we went to check in. I know it's just after 8, half 8 in the morning at this stage, and obviously just chancing to see if the room would be ready. I had seen earlier that people were being charged extra, and I was like, at this stage I'll pay the extra wee bit because I was getting the money back from the Legends Pass anyway. for Scott McNeil because he was unfortunately unable to attend. So I thought at this stage I'd rather just get the room, put everything into the room, and maybe have a little chill out. That's what had been a really early start for us. I went up to the desk and he says that there could be rooms ready at 9 o'clock. I said, right, okay, it's only about 20 to 9 or whatever at this stage. I think we'll just go and chill over in the bar for a bit, and then we'll get the room and get up and get sorted. And we came back at 9 o'clock, and yes, rooms are available. And I sort of asked him sort of how much it would be, and he says he would waive the fee, the early fee, because we had travelled, and I was with my young daughter and stuff, and I thought absolutely amazing. I know the staff at the Hilton get a lot of flack sometimes from TF Nation goers, and probably for good reasons at times, but I just want to shine a bit of a positive light on them. He didn't have to do that. He could have charged me whatever the fee was, but he decided to let us have the room for no extra cost at 9 o'clock, which I thought was absolutely amazing. So we got up the room, left in our stuff, chilled out for a little bit, and then we went across. We got a few bits and pieces that we could have for lunch. So we didn't have to pay big fees or anything, or big fees, high prices and stuff, because quite a lot of stuff over there is quite expensive to eat. I don't think there's many places that you can eat for less than a tenner, really. Maybe Subway. So we got stuff for the room, and then we made our way into the hall, and that's whenever I met Tony and Nosy and Jeremy and all those guys. Sorry if I forgot your name. It has been an absolute whirlwind of a week, really busy, and I sat in a chat with those guys for a while. I got Tony because I'd sold him Victory Leo, so I got that sorted there and then. I'd seen, once I was up in the room, I almost forgot about this because it's like I said, my memory is completely wiped at this point. But while we were up in the room, I was on Instagram, sort of just seeing what everyone was doing, see where everyone was, and I noticed that Deskbot Quickshots had posted on Instagram his story and stuff that the first person to come up and say to him till all are gone gets this little guy, Shattered Glass Optimus. I bumped into him and Plastic Crack just there waiting in the queue while I was heading to get registered and stuff, and I thought I'd chance just to see, and luckily I got it. So I got the little Shattered Glass Optimus, which was just a nice start to the day, I think, meeting those guys and getting a little prize. So it's in the queue, was right back to reception as we were going to get registered. So just because it's the first one I could get, so we got these little wristbands, and of course they're not overly sticky. I was able to sort of take it off. I'd seen also beforehand not to put them all on because they're not really waterproof, and obviously people taking showers and stuff out there, they were just disintegrating. So the TF Nation crew know about it, and they're going to hopefully sort that out for next year. So hopefully we won't have that issue of disintegrating wristbands. I really miss the old wristbands. I thought I had one sitting close by, but I must have tidied it away somewhere, of course. But I love the wee fabric wristbands. I understand why they're doing it, and you're trying to be environmentally friendly. So we got our little program. Obviously, you get all of where the things are in the center page. Then you have the schedule. So obviously, I wanted to go to the voice actor panels and stuff. So we sort of planned it out, me and my daughter, and we're like, right, well, we'll do this here, and then we'll go for lunch and all this crack. So she was so excited to get into the Trader Hall. Once she's seen the queue vanish, we'd have went back in and sat with Tony and stuff. Once she's seen the queue vanish from the reception, she thought that was it, the queue's gone. So she really, really wanted to get towards the Trader Hall. So we went up, and obviously the queue was only about halfway down that corridor, but she was happy enough to stand. She wanted to wait. She was just really looking forward to getting in there into the Trader Hall. So we got in the queue, everyone's grand. Got into the dealer hall, and it was just people everywhere. Now, I was quite fortunate that Russ from Toys R Us, shout out to that guy, absolutely top guy. He was working in the on-demand stall, and I knew there was the main thing that I really wanted to pick up at TF Nation, and I knew that I'd seen that he was working the on-demand stall, and I thought, yeah, there's no way that it's going to be there whenever I get in. So I asked him if he would mind picking me up the Carnivac, an Iron Fist, or Fistotron, or whatever they're calling them, 2-pack. So the only reason I got this is thanks to Russ and his kindness of being able to pick it up for me, and then I got it from him then later on, and absolutely love this set. It was the main thing that I really wanted. I didn't get a lot, but I think it was sort of quality over quantity for me this year. I wasn't really after it. I'm sort of getting out of the Masterpiece thing, so nothing really Masterpiece wise. So this set definitely was a must for me. I really like it. I actually got this set with the intention of maybe selling on this guy, because I have right there, top of my finger, the third-party version, and I still like him. He's good for my IDW shelf, but this little guy is really fun to mess with. So I don't know. I quite like him. I don't have the Earth mode Hound mode, or version of this, because I just wasn't paying silly money for one figure out of that pack. If he gets sold separately, then I will pick him up. I'm not paying what, close to £100, 70, 80, 90, I think it was over £100 to get one figure in it that I really wanted. So there was that. So while I was at In Demand stall, I thought this guy would sell it, but I think there was still some left, even at the end of the day, or end of the convention. You have the 86 Perceptor, and we all know it's because you get, I can't get his feet out at the minute. I put them away when we were traveling, and I just can't get them out. I will get them out at some point. So you get Ramhorn and Ratbat with their little backpack things. This is actually really cool to go with Blaster. I don't like that you have to buy a Perceptor, which had already been released as such, like the normal one, but this one's a bit of an upgrade because they give him a back panel, and the paint's a little better and stuff. But I don't like the way that Hasbro does that. It actually really irks me at times that they throw in a figure that you want along with 4 other figures that you don't really need. To get this little Ramhorn, you have to buy the 86 Perceptor. It's just stuff like that there that really annoys me. I'd rather just give me a set of like little mini-cons or something, versions, recolors, whatever, of some of the other mini-cons. Or give me like, you could have these two, and you could have like the Jolt to go with your Hot Shot. Just stuff like that. Or a couple of the mini-cons that could go with the Armada releases and stuff. I think would have been a nicer thing, rather than having to buy another recolor of a figure that most people already had. Anyways, that's that little rant out of the way. Let's continue on with the haul. So we went round. Obviously my daughter got a few bits and pieces, and she was absolutely loving it, although it was very busy in the hall. So just before we left the hall, on the way out, I passed Primetime Toys, and they had this Super 7 Grimlock, and I believe it was £40 whenever I got it. Really love it. I've always wanted this one. I've always looked at it, on the internet and stuff out there, like, and I just never really got around to buying it. And I love that it comes with the little apron. That's how he's going to be displayed, with the little tray and stuff from the episode Madman's Paradise. It's fantastic. I love that wee bit. It was kind of like a spotlight episode for Grimlock, and the wee apron just makes it. I know he doesn't transform, but anybody that knows me knows that I love Grimlock. So that was our first sort of run through the dealer hall. So just a few pickups. The stalls were just so busy. We couldn't really get near anything in some of the stalls. Toy Fu was absolutely swamped with people, which is great to see. And I do believe they made over £26,000 that weekend. So that's incredible. And they hit their lifetime goal of over 250,000. So fantastic from Toy Fu. So we went out and we chilled for a bit. I do believe we sort of hit the panel. Yeah. So once we went out, then we chilled out in the bar area for a bit, messed about with some of our bots that we just picked up. Yeah, so we came out of the trader hall and we went up to the room for a bit as we wanted to open up a couple of bots. My daughter just wanted to get tore into a couple of her robots, and we started opening those, messed about for a little bit. Then we headed down for Neil Kaplan's panel, which was fantastic. Neil Kaplan was absolutely amazing. I'm unfortunately I didn't get any prints or any artwork and stuff, like print wise and signatures. It's just the lines were so long, and when you have a young daughter, that she already had a queue for different things, and it was more about her introduction to the whole convention rather than having her standing queues for hours and stuff. So sorry I didn't get to meet any of the guys personally. That's why I bought the Legends Pass, because I thought, at least then I'd be guaranteed to see him without having to stand in big queues. There would still be a bit of a queue for the actual Legends Pass. I've never actually done the Legends Pass before. This was my first time. But that's the reason I done for Scott McNeil, because I really wanted to see him. Obviously, couldn't make it because of medical reasons, but that's life. Hopefully, he gets well soon, and it's nothing overly serious. Like nobody wants that. Then we were able to go for lunch. We went back up to the room and we had what we had bought for lunch. Messed about with the figures again, and then we went back down the panel room to watch Sophia Myles. And yeah, she definitely struggled to hold the mic and stuff out there, but it was great hearing her sort of experience with the whole thing. It was good asking the questions for someone that's been in one of the live action movies and stuff. So it was different from, say, voice actors and stuff. So hopefully we'll see more of the live action sort of actors over the years at TF Nation. So we were going to stay on for Evan Michael Lee's panel. It got delayed by about 15-20 minutes. My daughter was starting to get a little bored and anxious and stuff, so I thought, right, I can always catch up on the panel through YouTube and stuff. And so I decided we'll go back to the hall, we'll take another little walk around. Hopefully it'll have quietened down a little bit. So I think my daughter, she picked up another figure or two, and I got this Grimlock kit from YOLO Park, and this will be a fun wee build video. I'll probably just do it as a casual, I don't know if I'll do it live or just do it as a casual wee build video, but picked that up. And then we went and we got dinner. I guess we decided we would sort of head for dinner just before everything else finishes up, which was a good idea because we sort of got in. We went to Nando's and had dinner there, went back then, and we had a lie down. I actually fell asleep. I had set an alarm anyway for ClubCon, and I think I dozed off for an hour or so. It's just absolutely wrecked from being up that early. Didn't get to sleep maybe as early as I'd like on a Friday night. It's kind of like the excitement of Christmas, isn't it? Going to TF Nation. And I dozed off. Got up then, we went down to ClubCon. ClubCon's always awesome. It's great to see all the fantastic cosplayers. Some real effort goes into those cosplays, and it's absolutely amazing to see. And then they've done the Matrix quiz. Was a little different this year. They had Toy Fu against Transformers the show, which was definitely an interesting take, but it sort of took out, everyone, you could change your answers and all that crap, if you really wanted to. So it was more based on those guys being involved in it, which was good. Um, yeah, I'm just not really sure how I feel about the Matrix test this time. Um, it's sort of it's good to see those two competing, like the two teams competing and stuff. So that was good, but it also feels like a little disconnected for everyone else. But that's just my opinion. Um, Maybe I was just tired. I don't know, but it was good to see those guys compete. I'm actually absolutely terrible at that Matrix quiz. I think I maybe got if I had done it completely, like I didn't actually enter it as such. But I think I maybe got two, maybe three questions, I think, correct, and that was it. But then we get on to where they revealed this an episode. What was it? The first pitch or something? I think it was. Sort of glad they didn't go with that pitch because I actually prefer the Transformers the way it was. But then again, is that because we're used to it? I'll maybe do a video on that, sort of comparing or my thoughts and feelings on the original pitch, which I think Chris McFeely does have up on his YouTube channel, Transformers the Basics now. So if you didn't see that, go and check that out. It's interesting, very interesting, but for me, sort of glad they went with what they did, or what they did. So then Sunday came around, we got up, we had our breakfast, and then we sort of chilled out in the bar area for a little while, just because it's the seating area, and we headed back then into the Trader Hall again, just to see if there's anything different today. Toy Fu was a little quieter. We did get the Toy Fu sort of that second time that we went in, and there was nothing really that stood out for us. We were just waiting sort of to see if anything popped up. There was nothing we were particularly looking for, either of us. I think Hannah was looking for a couple of bits, but we didn't see nothing. So the second day we went in, and I picked up, first of all, I got this little Action Master Snarl. So now I have the Action Master Dinobots complete, I think. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, if I've missed something. I think there only was Grimlock and Snarl, which I have both of them now. So I got that from Toy Fu, and then as we moved on down the table, I had already paid for him, and we moved on down the table, and I met Nick, and he was getting this guy ready to put onto the table. So I just said to Nick, yeah, I'll take him. I've always wanted a Krolok, just because it's some sort of representation from Energon for the Dinobots as such. I know there is two Dinobots. I have Swoop and Grimlock that combine. It's an interesting set, to say the least. And I got Battle Ravage. The other gun is somewhere about there. I think it's popped off. But I got Battle Ravage as well at the same time. So now I have the three Terracons from Transformers Energon. I can't remember what they call the bird one, but I have the bird one from way back. I've never seen those two in the wild back then. So it was nice to pick those guys up. So we were walking around, we bumped into a few people, we were talking, and off and on throughout that sort of walkthrough of the dealer room. And we were just chatting to people all day. Then went to get our lunch, and then we came back, did another walk around of the dealer hall, just generally just sort of dandering about, not really doing a wild lot. I think maybe Hannah got one more thing at that stage, and then I stopped by Pixel Farmers, and they had Dinobot placemats. Now, unfortunately, by the time I finally got there, he had sold out of a particular character. So I was able to get 4 of the Dinobots. He did have the G2 Grimlock, but I really, really wanted just the set, the original G1 that showed in the TV, the animation. So nicely, Pixel Farmer said that he would send me out a Grimlock when he got back home. So I paid for it at the convention, and true to his word, he sent me out a Grimlock. So now I have the complete set of placemats, which are going to go onto my Dinobot display. Really happy with that. Really nice guy. Definitely recommend his artwork. Really, really nice, as you can see from this. Highly recommend him. Really, really nice guy. He didn't have to do that, but really, really happy that he did. So we came around then, and the final pickup for me from the Space Bridge was Titanium Proud from War Within. Really didn't expect to find this guy. He was just in along with some G1 figures at the Space Bridge, inside one of Paul's cabinet things that he has sitting out on the table. So I picked this guy up, and that was the last pickup of today. Messed about with him quite a bit. Really, really nice figure. Really, really nice. I think it all came from when my wife got me the Titanium Grimlock. It's still unboxed because I really can't bring myself to open it. It just looks so nice. In fact, I thought it was somewhere here. Just nice. They're different. I think the only Titanium figure I had back in the day when they first came out was Soundwave. And I'm not sure. I think I might have sold him again later on down the line. Actually, I've completely forgot, and I knew this was going to happen. The actual last pickup I got was this. And I'm freaking wearing it for that reason, or I would have probably forgot. So the last pickup was this Grimlock t-shirt from Battersea store. Just they were outside the main dealer room. They had like 2 in my size left of this, so it was just meant to be. But that was it. Then we said our goodbyes. Once we went to the closing ceremony, we actually went to the Scott McNeil panel, which they actually showed an episode of Beast Wars. The one with Dinobot dies. Honor or Heroes Honor or Ear. My mind is an absolute mush. But we got to watch that. Then we watched the closing ceremony, and then we chilled out for a wee bit, and then we headed to the airport. And that's when it really started to get long in the day, because we got through security, we got something to eat, we waited for our flight to be called, our flight got announced, we went to the gate, and just as we got to the gate, the flight was delayed. Which wasn't too bad. I was only delayed about 40 minutes, so I thought, that's fine, 20 minutes and we'll be getting boarded on the plane anyway. And then as I got within 15 minutes of that flight time, it got delayed again, this time to after 12. The flight originally was supposed to go out at 10, and I think we didn't get boarded to just after 12. So it's not just that side of it, it's the fact that once you get to the other side, and then you have to travel home. And it's once we got off the other side and got through, got to the car and drove home, it's just around an hour travel for us in the car then. So really, really long sort of end. But that's why I think that the tiredness really sort of got to me then, because then I was up in the next day, and like we didn't get home to 1:30-ish, somewhere in that bracket, and we're just absolutely knackered. And as I say, I kept going through the Monday, just because it was a chilled out evening. Me and the wife had, and then Tuesday, it just by lunchtime then I was just done. I was absolutely done, burnt out completely, and I don't think I'd done too much on the Tuesday. Really wanted to do this video, but I don't know if anyone sort of had that sort of burnt out feeling, like it's something you want to do, but your body's just like, no. So yeah, that was sort of the tail end of it for TF Nation. And that's it for today's episode, guys. It's a bit longer than usual for my videos and stuff, but it's just wanted to get everyone out there for TF Nation. I think if I'm going back again, I think maybe going over on the Friday, or at least stay on the Sunday night, just so we don't have to do that whole travel late at night and stuff. Definitely will be the way to go. Maybe next year, maybe have a table of my own at TF Nation. We'll see. I will hopefully have another really good announcement in the next couple of months regarding a certain other convention, all being well. But definitely really enjoyed the weekend. The TF Nation bit of it was absolutely amazing. Like, the guys do absolutely amazing work to pull those conventions off, the TF Nation crew, and it is very much appreciated. It's just the whole travel side for me. Anyway, If you're a TF Nation, let me know in the comments below if you've made a video so that I can go and check it out, because I absolutely love watching all the TF Nation videos. And until next time, guys, stay awesome.